Welcome back. And last, what we were about to do is we were about to open the tower here and check out the clue for the ship to get to the age, the Stoneship age, as it was called in the book. Now, I think it's fairly obvious, it makes the most sense that since it's called the Stoneship Age, and there's so much talk about ships, we'd want to move the tower rotation toward the ship. Of course, you wouldn't need to know that if you're playing through this game. You could really move the tower rotation anyway. You could get all the clues at once. But since I know which books go with what age and where they all go, I think it's just nice and cohesive to do it this particular way. Alright, so here's the page ladder, which shows, see, you can see the sunken ship over there. And that means that the clue we're going to see on this side of the tower is going to have to do with that age. Alright, here we go. October 11th, 1984, 10:04 a.m. January 17th, 12:07, 5:46 a.m. Wow, my brain just stopped there for a second. November 23rd, 9791, 6:57 p.m. Well, these are dates and times. If you remember before, when we were looking into the clock things and trying to figure out what the time had to do with anything, we went over to the conservatory and realized that to do something in the conservatory, you need to have both dates and times. Well, we were just given dates and times. Isn't that nice? So I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that we should head over to the conservatory, which we've not really used much other than to admire its prettiness and the scariness of its dentist chair, which you know, dentists are important, but not a very pleasant experience. I just went to the dentist yesterday. Not my favorite thing to do in the world. But conservatories are very nice. And how often do you go to a one-person conservatory? Pretty much never, unless maybe you're rich. I don't know. Every conservatory I've ever been to has a bunch of seats. Oh, and we still have the light off from before. So let's take a seat in this chair. Not open our mouth wide. Alright, so I wrote down the dates. Here we go. Let's put the dates in and see what they do. October, so we want to, this controls, yep, that controls the month here. We want October 11th, 1984. Wow, we're far in the future, so we want to hold and click this way back. See, you can grip it and pull it with your hand, or you can hold down these arrows here. 1984, good, and we want 10:04 a.m. Now, with the clock, I mean, you could probably you could do some trial and error and probably eventually get that clock to open if you had enough persistence. But something like this, there are so many possibilities for these dates that I don't see how that would be even possible to guess. Alright, this one takes a while to show up because we were in such a different spot before, but here is a constellation, and you can take note of that. Now, I don't know if this looks familiar to you, the box that has these stars in it, but they were constellations listed in that book that we just read, and the best way to do this, I think, is to either copy down those constellations or to copy down the things from these dates that you get, the star patterns, and then compare them to the book. Now, I actually do have the basic shapes written down, and this one corresponds to the leaf constellation we saw earlier, because it's got you can see sort of the leaf shape. So that's what this one corresponds to. Let's go to the next date. We got January 17th, 1207. Takes a little bit to scroll to these. Is one of the bad things about this puzzle. Gets a little bit tedious putting these dates in, but it's not too bad. And we want the time, which is 5:46 a.m. Alright. Okay. There we have another thing. You, like I said, either write that down or look at the constellation images you've already copied down from the book. You can kind of see this little triangle head. Looks like a snake head, and indeed this ends up being the snake. You can kind of see the curve of the snake there. So the constellation that corresponds with this particular date is the snake. Now let's go to the next date, which is November 23rd. And this is the final date we have to put in. And this one's super far into the future. 9791. Here we go. 6:57 p.m. Alright, get that just right. Oh, that's AM. That's not gonna work. 6:57. All the other dates have been, or all the other times have been PM times. 6:57. There we go. It takes a while because we're going super in the future. Ooh. Now, this is a crazy looking constellation, but this ends up being the bug or beetle, I think, as I called it a little while ago. You can sort of see it in the constellation. You can see kind of the body, and here are some legs here. Kind of see some of the lighter legs. But that is all the information we need here. But yes, I will show you one more time in the book there. You can obviously come back if you had written down those star patterns. And the ones we got were the leaf, oh, the snake. We got the snake. See the snake head I pointed out right there? The bug, which I said, like, there's the legs, and there's the main body. And we also got the leaf, which it's pretty obvious why that's the shape of a leaf. And those are the three we got. Now, what do we do with them? Well, that's a question. But if you remember our original exploration of the island, there was a sunken ship here in the middle, which is kind of a hint that maybe this area has something to do with. And there were these symbols here of various things. We have like a flamingo, which looks kind of familiar. We saw a flamingo somewhere. We saw an eye. And if you look, these are all the symbols we saw in the book, all the constellations. Nope, clicked on the leaf again. Arrow, and they do something, and if you click on them, they turn green, and then they can turn back to red. So, what we need to do here is click on the constellations that we saw in corresponding to the dates. So, oops, I don't want to turn that down because that's, I don't know, there's no reason. I guess I could have done that, but I'm keeping them all on for now. So we just turn the leaf. We need the snake, which we'll believe was over here somewhere, maybe? Yep, there's a snake. And the last one, which is the bug, which I have not seen yet. Must be somewhere in a... Oh, how lucky. Oh, can you hear that? That sounds like the sound of us completing a puzzle. I wish I had like a Zelda sound effect. My husband has a lot of sound effects on his phone, which he occasionally overuses in everyday life and if we make videos together. But I do enjoy having those puzzle sounds, and I kind of wish I had like the, you know, Zelda sound effect right now. But look, we raised the toy ship. Ah. That's not very useful though, because we can't do anything. But there was another sunken ship. Oh, not so sunken anymore. That small pool thing was only representing the bigger thing, which I think is interesting that they're tied together like that. Like, I wonder how that actually would work. The technology behind it. But then again, this is kind of a magical place. We're gonna look around. There's not really many places we can go on the ship here. I don't think we can look up either, which is unfortunate. I kind of want to see. I want to go up to the lookout point and up. Ooh, what's with purple surrounding the books? Have you noticed that? I've never actually noticed that before. There's been a lot of purple. Maybe there isn't a lot of purple in this game otherwise. Maybe that means like, ooh, you're going to an age. Maybe they decided to make that kind of a book color. But yeah, you're right. You know, I don't really see much purple in this game. I've never actually noticed that before. I'm gonna turn it down now. Ooh. Let's watch the flyby because I really like them. I'm so excited. We're to our second age. I know. It's kind of nerdy. I get awfully excited about this game. I don't know if it's come across because I've been very chill. It's a very chill game, but I actually really love playing it. And I've actually been enjoying the videos that have come out of it myself. It's weird. Is it weird that I enjoy my own videos? I think it's a little bit odd. Maybe a little bit narcissistic, perhaps. But you can see there, there's the lighthouse, and there's the ship that they were talking about in the journals. Yep, and there's a big view, and there's the jagged rocks he was talking about. Yes, the reason I enjoy these videos is not because I'm obsessed with myself. I hope that I'm not. But because I'm happy to have something that if I ever feel like playing this game, and this computer doesn't work or something, I have something to look back on and kind of basically give me the ideas of playing this game. I feel like this is a game that isn't so much about gameplay, more about solving things and exploration, so I think it translates really well to video, in my opinion. So we're kind of exploring. We found this switch. We don't know what they do, but if you hit them, they light up and they make a noise. You can hear like a I don't know what to call that noise, like a pumping motory noise, kind of. We don't know what they do at this point, but they do something. Alright, so we will continue, we'll start mostly our exploration of this age soon.